if from we think about earth to heaven, so what do you mean no internet access? Just what kind of heaven it is? After the death of a person, if a person go to the heaven, and if they don't find the internet connection, then they see that is a hell. So this is the trend that we are seeing in the change. We are thinking after the death, the part of life is the internet. But after all these things, you should not forget the crime is increasing just as a technological trend. Is in the world, America and then China, and the fourth position is India. These three countries are the powerful technological, giving the powerful technological trends, but still facing the problem of cybercrime. Because if you think that America and China are the too much popular and technological rich in each and every aspect, but still they are facing the problem of cybercrime. So I'll focus on the concept of cybercrime and cyber security with the facts and figures that cyber security firm McAfee noted that cybercrime incidents could cost world around the 1 billion trillions in 2020 up to the 600 billions in 2018. And another report by the cybersecurity trained micro said that there was an increase of nearly 9 million threat cases from January to June, especially related to COVID-19. After this COVID-19 periods, we have seen various cyber attacks, cyber crimes that we are in the world we are facing. If you talk about the India, the number of digital transactions are increasing from 3,134 crores that were in the now we are having 4,570 crores. Means the financial transactions are increasing day by day, and the crime against financial transactions is increasing in India. National Crime Reporting Bureau, as according to that, number of registered cases, cheating and frauds are increasing year by year. Nowadays, we are having 6,233 cases in 1920, and now in 2020, till that, we are having 7,544. So the number of increasing, and the India recorded 50,035 cases of cybercrime in 2020. So these are some facts and figures that we can see that the cybercrime is increasing across the world day by day. There are a number of cases in the financial transactions, not only the financial transactions, but the fraud against the sorry. So any type of frauds that we can face around the world. We can see the fraud in the matrimonial sites, we can see the fraud in shopping, we can see the fraud in financial aspect. So we are having the frauds everywhere. So the cyber security is must be powerful across the world, because it is a practice of protecting the critical system and sensitive information from the digital attacks. And security against special skilled crime, because cyber crime is a special skilled crime, just like as other crime. It is also the crime, and we can say it is a special skill, because people must have the skill to perform this type of crime. In India, almost all the districts have the cyber cells. Across the world, we have the cyber cell where we can report these all. As I told that in the world, India is the fourth position in cyber crime, and China and US has the first and second position respectively. Although these are the technological powerful country in the world, but if you talk about the cyber security and cyber crime awareness, so in the US, fifth class students having the cyber crime, but in India we don't have such type of things. Cyber crime and still in developing countries we don't have such type of awareness programs are related to the cyber crime and cyber security. So we have to initiate these programs from the school levels, and we must know that the digital footprint cannot be vanished or removed. Whatever you steps you take over the digital platform, that will be remain lifelong. Means that cannot be changed, that cannot be removed from the database of the internet. So start running the slide. So what is the cyber crime? If we say the cyber is basically imaginary space that is created when the electronic devices like computer, mobile phones and telephone communicate with each other. So this is the cyber space. We don't know to whom we are connecting. We don't know to whom we are chatting. To don't know to whom we are exchanging our data and sharing the data. So this is the cyberspace, and the crime that is act as per wrong law according to the law, and that is a punishable. So if we talk about the cyber crime, so that is the act done with the criminal intent is this in the cyberspace is known as the cyber crime. Nowadays, we are using the electronic gadget. Initially, the cyber crime was intended through the computers, but nowadays we are using electronic gadgets. So these all electronic gadgets can be used as a target, can be used as a tool, can be used as incidents. When we talk about the cyber crime. So, why we should learn every person in the world the cyber crime? Because the new generation is growing up with the electronic gadgets. Everybody is using electronic gadgets, from a worker to the businessman to the criminal. Everybody, all are using the cyber crime. All are using the electronic gadgets. It means from white collar criminal to the terrorist organizations are using. So we must aware of the cyber crime. So conventional crime like forgery, extortions, kidnapping also committed with the help of these electronic gadgets, and that comes under the cyber crime. So as we talk, that most of the world is moving toward the digital transactions. So still there is a need of this. But what are the not only the financial transactions are behind the cyber crime, but some other motives behind the cyber crimes are fun and adventures. Some people are perform the cyber crime for the fun and adventures. Some for the destructive mindset, disharmony in the society, for earning money, for publicity, media coverage, revenge, business rivalries, sell promote the security services. So these are the motive behind the cyber crime. And in this scenario, the criminals are the teenagers, professional hackers, dissatisfied employees, business rivals, or any other who are involved in performing these cyber crimes. Then who can victim? The gullible, greedy people, unskilled and inexperienced, unlucky people. These may be the victims. So these are some different types of cyber crime that can be done, and with the increased misuse of the electronic gadgets and internet technologies, the reason behind the cyber crime are these, and these are the hacking of unseen content, salami attacks, denial of services, farming, phishing, identity theft, email crimes. I will demonstrate some of the important. So this is the sign-in window and password stealer. This is one of the software, some of the program that can be installed in your computer, and how it performs the stealing of the passwords without aware of you. Just see the slides. And you are not aware of that this password stealer has stored into your computer. Just whenever you will click the unknown links that comes from any source through the WhatsApp, through the email, whenever you will click this type of link, that may be the cause of installing this type of software. And this is another, the keylogger. Just see the eyes that moving whenever you will press the key of keyboard. So instead of keyboard, you should use the virtual keyboard, and that will protect you from this keyloggers, because these are the spy eyes. These are the spy eyes, and that are installed on your computer, and that watch your keyboard. Now this is hacking of spam.com original. The site has been hacked and this type of message will display. Some email related crime we must know, because the email is nowadays the life for the communication, and these are some email related crimes that may include the spamming, email spoofing, virus dissemination, sending threatening mail, sending obscene contents, and the spamming means the act of sending mails to many users at the time. When somebody send a number of mails and that are not used, and some mail may be not be destructive, but that the consume space of your email box. So for this, you should remove the spam folders regularly, and don't reply of email that comes in the spam folder, because be careful in giving out the emails. So don't give the emails to everyone, but nowadays whenever there is need of registration, at the time you have to enter your email ID, and through that email ID they can send the spam mails. Then email spoofing, the act of sending email to the recipients or the group of recipients by covering the actual sender identification. Just see this animation. So user B will receive the mail that comes from the C, but actually sent by A. So this is the spoofing. And identity theft, it is a cheating by impersonate, where a person is imitating the mannerism of another person. Normally this type of theft, identity theft, is used in financial frauds, and fraud in this type of fraud involves the stealing money or getting other benefits by pretending the someone else. Normally in the bank it happens, identity theft. Then phishing, derived from the word phishing and refers to sending officially looking but the phone emails to trick the recipients into the reveal confidential account. So whenever they will send the mail, and whenever you will click, and it may be you enter your username and password or some other credentials, they will hack, and for that they will use the for the financial frauds. And this is the phishing. So the phishing can be performed this. These are two different pages from the citibank.com. Just these are the for the representation purpose only. Here this is the actual login and this is the dissipative login. So you can see there is no such difference in that, but only the user ID and password and the transaction password are asked here. So whenever you will ask, enter the password, that will send to the hackers, and they will hack your passwords. So denial of services also there. Attack designed to bring down the network by flooding it with the useless traffic, as an attempt to make the computer resource available to intended users. So this type of mail will be received, and the machine will be hanged, and the server will hang. So the intended service cannot be provided for longer. So this is the one type of. Then forming, user trying to reach out the particular websites are automatically redirected to the spoofed ones. So like just you can see here the spelling of McDonald's and the McDonald. Whenever you will type the McDonald, still whenever you will type the MCD, this McDonald will appear, not McDonald's will appear. And whenever you click, you will the page will land to this mcdonald.com, not the mcdonalds.com. So it's with the only one letter, the forming can be performed. Then salami attacks, and such criminal make the insignificant changes in such a manner that such changes would not go unnoticed. This type of salami attacks normally, you can see the example there. The criminal take the program that will deduct the small amount like 1 rupees per month from the every account of the branch, and normally it is unnoticed by the customer of the bank, because this is the very less amount, and this less amount will be ignored by the person. That may be considered as a bank charge, but if this 1 rupees will be deducted from every customer or the sum of the customer, so that may be unnoticed. So in this case, no account holder will approach the bank for the such small amount, but criminal will gain the huge amount. every month that 1 rupees will be deducted. So these incident must be logged into the FIR in the cyber cell or the cyber crime department. But normally people are not having the interest because some of the reason behind the lack of interest, because fear of the police harassment. They think that the police will ask the number of questions. This normally in underdeveloped countries, this type of incidents happens if police harassment is there, so they are having fear for the police harassment, and they don't go for this. The fear of wrong media publicity, some that defame their uh, media publicity. They need some people don't have faith on the legal procedures. They think that there is no chance, there will be no there is a very difficult procedure of legal aspect, so they don't go for that. Then practical burden and financial cost of going to the courts, and inability to produce sufficient proof of the wrongdoings, fear of loss to the brand image of credibility. So these are some reason behind that. But against this, India has the IT Act 2000, and it was implemented in 2000. So that was named 2000, but after the 2000, in 2008, some amendment were made, and now it is very powerful. First incident in India was cybercrime was noticed by the Bazi.com and the pornography scandal by the Delhi MMS scandal case. So this was the first, but it was in 1995. So at that time there was no any law and order against this. So there were the Indian government felt that there is a need of launching this type of IT, Information Technology Act, and in June 2000 it was signed by the President of India, and now it is a regular. So IT Act 2000 means number of laws are there, number of sections are there, and that can be recognized. You should call to the police, and there is a punishment in the cyber crime. If a person sending obscene contents, can be imprisoned for the 5 years. As I told that you cannot remove your digital footprint. So if you are sending any type of obscene contents through anyone, through WhatsApp, through social media, there is a crime. Even if you download or if you serve the pornographic websites, then there is a crime. If in your history, in your system, some contents or some links were found, that time you will be punished for that under the cyber crime. So some general tips. So general tips are there. Safety measures: become aware of the updating education and training programs. You should attend the various cybercrime attentive programs, so that you can prevent from the cybercrime. If attack fire and fire, there is no problem. In India, in every district, we have a cybercrime cell, and the cyber cell are there. You can go there and you can freely fill up FIR. Every time you should keep a backup for your important files. Set a browser security on in Google Chrome, privacy security, and internet option security in browsers. You can use this type of things. General tip: don't open any links. So through WhatsApp or messages or email, don't send KYC document to the link. Normally, most of the crime perform through these links, and whenever a links received, don't open that until and unless it is not from the your bank or from your authorized portal. So don't scan QR code through the WhatsApp or email links. Don't use same password for all logins. You should keep your different password, and that should be strong. Don't share your date of birth, Aadhaar number, or social security number, or mobile number with everyone. And new password must be different from previous whenever you will change, and that must be changed in regular interval. Means even in 15 days you may change your passwords. Avoid online loan or online loan apps. Normally these loans are nowadays, in this pandemic situation, most of the loan portals are there, and these are maximum are frauds. Until unless you see that the Google Play stores registration of that app. Don't use that. And CBIL, the Credit Information Bureau Limited registration is there. If on the CBIL portal, if you see the loan provider, then go to the loan, and there must be loan agreement for that. If there is no loan agreement between you and company provider, then don't go for this. And these type of crimes are normally performed against the lower level citizens of the India, in India normally. And when submitting personal details, you should keep mind that avoid the disclosing personal details to the strangers or the internet. Don't post personal information on your web page, blog, social networking sites. Always keep this security option on. Enter personal sensitive information on secure web pages. This can be ensured by checking for a padlock icon. This is the padlock icon. If it is there, then you can go for that. If it is not, then should not go there. And online banking must be performed very securely. Read every instructions that are provided by the bank. Check your online account frequently and make sure that at least transactions are valid. And if find someone auspicious, inform the bank immediately. Don't operate your account from the public network, free Wi-Fi, cyber cafe, or someone else home. Only use your private gadgets for this. And some security related about the passwords. Normally you should remember, don't write anywhere your passwords, and don't make it easy that can be guessed by any type of user. Because if you take a password as your name, then that can be hacked in one, that can be cracked in one day. If numbers and your name or date of birth is there in the password, that can be cracked in 1 month. But if you take a password with numbers, symbols, and alphabets in caps and small, that will take near about more than 1 year to crack. So within that time period, you can change and keep your the length of password as long as possible, and use uppercase, lowercase, alphabet. These must be keep in mind while password, because most of the people think that the password cannot be stolen, and that but the stealer normally make the programs and they can steal your password. So these are some suggestions. These are very weak passwords, and these are some strong passwords. In the right side you can see. And security measure for the password, don't keep this option on, always keep this option off, remember me icon. And safety measure for email, always use the spam filter for your email. Never reply or link to the any links of the email, and think before you open attachment. Always you should not open until unless it is not from the authorized person, or until unless not in the your address books. So delete all unwanted messages without opening. Don't click on that. Always sign out before closing. So normally, until and unless it is not your computer, your own, there is in the your computer, no need to sign out. But if you are accessing your email from other computer or other system, that may be office system, or that may be any person's system, you should always sign out before closing your account. And safety measure while browsing, be cautious of the exaggerated claims of possible earnings or profit. Nowadays, this type of messages we are seeing more and more, that you have won this amount or deposit this amount for the to gain the profit, and deposit amount to take this gift. So be aware of the lotteries that charges a free prior to delivery of your prize. Avoid downloading free wallpapers or music file from internet until unless the site is safe. Don't auto connect to the open Wi-Fi. Log Bluetooth, because many financial frauds are committing with this particular point. Always delete the browsing history. Regularly you should delete the browsing. Cookies must be deleted, history must be deleted. And safety measures technological must be used for this. And always use original softwares, and install antivirus software in your systems. So that will be very fine. More than 50% of customer do not have the routers for the personal use. So you should install antivirus and firewalls. For this, antivirus are must for even mobile phones, not only for the laptop and for your computer. These are some companies, you can take any from these companies. So what we see that the cyber crime in India are increasing day by day, even in the world also increasing day by day. And this is the last slide of this. So be aware of these things, because most of the cyber crime are attacked by increasing day by day even. And not only the you will not think that in India I have some data that 600 call centers in Telangana states and 500 call center in Gurugram were found, and they are cheating as a financial frauds, and they have performed 423 crore fraud with the 75 bank accounts. So in India, number of BPOs are there, number of some call centers are there, which are involved in this type of activities. So everywhere there are number of things are there, and some websites are there. You can report like sachet.org.rbi.in in India, cycord.gov.in India, cybercrime.gov.india. So you can complain, you register your complaint, and you can save yourself, your data, and your system, your information. So thank you so much. uh, Over to you, Madhu ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Rupesh Shukla, sir, for gracing the session with your valuable insights on cybersecurity issues, how cyber crimes are happening, how we can save ourselves in cyber crimes using IT laws, set private security to save us from cyber crimes, do safe banking transaction, use of safety measures while using internet, and many more with us with such explanatory and engaging presentation. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation and deep knowledge on cybersecurity. We are very
Thank
much
you so much.
grateful to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving ahead with the session, we have majestic and renowned personality with us, a special guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Rahul Dev Saha. He is assistant professor in Department of Computer Application and Information Technology in Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee University, Ranchi. Mr. Saha is a life member of Computer Society of India, Indian Science Congress, Institute of Scholars and Research Foundation of India. Dr. Shah is also the RFI chapter head of Jharkhand State. He has authored around 25 articles in different international, national journals and conferences. He has guided UG, PG and research scholars. Dr. Shah has editor of one book. He has authored two book chapter in Springer. Dr. Shah got International Award for Think Tank in Technical Education. Dr. Shah has been selected for World Prestigious Global Educational Award 2020 on Teachers' Day Special Award 2020. Best Academician for their outstanding excellence and remarkable achievement in the field of teaching, research, and publication. He is the coordinator of STP IIT Bombay, Dr. SPM University Ranchi. Dr. Shah has been chaired special sessions in different IEEE and Springer international national conferences. So it's really a great honor to have you, sir, today. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. Your kind words. Before we're starting my speech, I'll say the few words given by the Dr. Abdul Kalam. हौसलों के तर्कश में कोशिशों का वो तीर जिंदा रखो, हार जाओ चाहे जिंदगी में सब कुछ, फिर से जीतने की उम्मीद जिंदा रखो. So, respected chairman and CEO, Research Foundation of India, Dr. Saurabh Jain sir, Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta sir, CMD of RFI, Professor Dr. Darima Parwani ma'am, Principal of Sant Hiradam Ram Girl College, Bhopal, Dr. Priyadarshini Agnatri ma'am, President of North and South Board RFI, Professor Madhu Singh, Conference Coordinator of this conference, Sant Hiradam Girls College, Bhopal, Professor Ajay Jansar, President of Central Board RFI, our international guest speaker, Dr. Gulsan Kurubek, ma'am, from Anadolu University, Turkey, speaker Ms. Rania Lampo, ma'am, global educator, STEM instructor, Greek, our guest of honor, Dr. Ruth Prasad, sir, from Nepal, and all dignitaries. Very warm welcome to this international conference on technological trend in modern era. Creating successful conference. Final thank you for spending some time with us today. In current pandemic situation, all our world affected from COVID in our education system, which is traditionally or non-traditionally courses, is running. But more challenges are still to continue smooth conduction of classes. But we are not going to stop. Everywhere ICT has taken a vital role for continuing the education in different levels. A special thank to RFI. RFI has started more faculties development programs as well as conferences in virtual mode, which might be useful for faculties, researchers, and students as well as institutions for regulate the courses in such pandemic situation. RFI and Sant Hera Ram Girls College, Bhopal, taking such innovative ideas for boosting the higher education systems. As an educationist and researcher, we should focuses on ICT and especially we can go, we can go through different types of research tools. That tools easy to learn and implemented in our research methodology as well as teaching practices. As a researcher, we should make our research paper innovative and applications in real life. Nowadays, our education system may opt ICT in many any subject, even any traditional courses, so learning never stop in any situation. There is extensive evidence that AI-based educational technology can effectively provide personalized support to help students learn problem-solving skills in a variety of domains. In contrast, until recently, there has been limited work on AI-based environments to support educational activities that are more exploratory in nature, such as learning from interactive simulations or playing educational games. These activities are becoming increasingly widespread, especially in the context of distance learning and other form of self-directed learning, because they can increase motivation and foster grounded skill acquisitions. However, not everyone can learn effectively from these activities, calling for AI-driven learning environments that can provide personalized support for open-ended exploratory learning while interfacing as a little as possible with the unconstrained nature of the interaction. How to devise AI-driven models that can be track and react to open-ended behaviors beyond those traditionally addressed by analogous models for problem solving. Entering a modern car is like entering a computer with wheels, seats, and windows. Similarly, entering a classroom is like entering a large digital system with chairs, windows, and a board. The input device of this system are not a keyboard and mouse, but an entire classroom and its various sensors. The output device of the system is not a screen, but a set of digital elements distributed in the class. The output is not a simple reflection of the input, but input data are processed by multiple operators and aggregate, compare, and visualize data. The resulting dashboards are used for monitoring the learners' progress in order to decide when and to whom to intervene. They are also used to compile data from the constructive activities for supporting the debriefing phase as well as to predict the completion time of an activity. Monitoring, debriefing, and timing are central processes in classroom orchestration. I'm seeing a lots of intellectual worried, but situation is beyond our thought. I think situation will change according to our hard work in any area. I think an awareness program should be continuing for faculty as well as students. People will can ready to handle any situation until and unless in any pandemic situation. So I am going to wind up my speech. So uh, I say here a few words. अगर असफल भी हो भी गए तो भी सपनों में जान रख. अगर असफल हो भी गए तो भी सपनों में जान रख. मत देख मत देख पंखों की मजबूती. मत देख पंखों की मजबूती. तू अपना हौसला तो बढ़ा. तू अपना हौसला तो बढ़ा और हौसले की उड़ान देख. और हौसले की उड़ान देख. Thank you, man. Again, thanks again to RFI to giving me opportunity. Over to Madhu, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your great knowledge with us. We are very grateful to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Moving ahead with session, we have renowned personality with us as a special guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Piyush Kumar Shukla. He is Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, UIT RGPV Bhopal. Dr. Piyush Kumar Shukla has received postdoctoral fellowship recently in March 2020 under Information Security Education and Awareness Project Phase, funded by Ministry of Electronics and IT from SVNIT Surat, Gujarat, from Department of Computer Engineering. He has published more than 150 research papers, book chapters, and books at the national and international level in IEEE, ACM transaction, Springer, etc. He is currently editing 7 books with Springer and many more. He has teaching and research experience of 15 years. He has been assistant registrar, academic, co-coordinator of intellectual property rights cell, co-coordinator AICT at RGPV. He has been delivering several expert lectures in online and offline mode. He is the recipient of many awards and recognitions. Dr. Piyush has delivered more than 25 expert lectures and chaired many technical sessions in international conferences worldwide. He is also the member of many professional bodies like IEEE, ISTE. He has project grant under Progress 1 Principal Investigator. His research interests include machine intelligence, medical image processing, white box cryptography. He has supervised 7 PhD scholars and 50 MTech dissertation. He has served the department in PG in charge, coordinator, MTech, DDIPG programs, department co-coordinator, MBA, NBA, NEC, and NIRF. It's our proud privilege to have you, sir, today. Now I request you to take the conference forward with your valuable talk. The topic of his presentation is Wireless Technologies Next Generation, WTG's Performance, Trends, Attacks, and Countermeasures. Over to you, sir. Within a couple of times, sir will join the session.
He is joining shortly. Piyush sir is joining shortly.
Okay, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to all. Sorry to join late.
Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Should I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's our proud privilege to have you with us today, sir. Now I request Piyush, sir, to take the conference forward with your valuable talk.
Thank you very much. Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are in.
So today I'm here to discuss something about this wireless technologies and how different generations have given us the facilities in terms of communication and transmission of the messages, signals, and other types of information. And simultaneously, I would like to discuss something about the uh, attacks and other problem in the this wireless technology scenario. So as we all know that in wireless network generations, there is a long journey, and fortunately, we were there with this journey as this mobile technology started in 1990s onwards. So in first generation, there was only the analog voice systems. There was no standardization and other technologies. Then after that, in second generation, we have seen that digital voice signal were there, and CDMA, GSM technology has been adopted. So in previous scenario, there was the Reliance Mobile, especially in India, was using the CDMA technology. And other mobile company is nowadays also they have adopted the GSM. So both these technologies evolved in this 2G generation. Then after some extension, the 2.5 generation was there in picture. And additionally, this technology enable us to use this GPRS technology. So in GPRS, general packet radio services, the voice time slots has been utilized for the packet traffic also. Then in third generation, we have got everything we can transmit from here to there. Either it is voice, video, data, and other types of any type of messages. Also, we become able to organize these types of online meetings. Although these online meetings comes into the picture mostly in this pandemic era. So then fourth generation comes into the picture, and we have got a dependency of the IP-based mobile networks. So here everything is through the network, and whatever the voice, video, audio, or other type of signal, we are using the internet. Means through the WhatsApp, we are making the video call, we are sending the images, etc. We are also having the normal switching circuit-based technologies for transmitting the simple messages and our voice. So both things are there nowadays. So we are fortunate to use more and more facility in this 5G scenario. So everything is transparent there in this technology. We have integrated every type of the heterogeneous networks meanwhile. Then we comes to discuss about the quality of service enabled scenario. As we know that whenever we talk about these generations, either it is first generation to the fifth generation or upcoming the sixth generation, ultimately there are changes in the physical layer and the MAC layer. So as we all know that at the physical layer, basically we talk about the modulation techniques. So according to changing the modulation techniques, we are able to get different types of the transmission rates. So whenever we have requirement of the better transmission rate, the technology changes accordingly, and accordingly we have moved towards the 5G to 6G technologies. So it is in the physical layer, and then we talk about the data link layer, which is especially having the medium access control layer. So on the medium access control sublayer, there are some protocols, and on the working of those protocols, we are having the dependency on the local network. Either it is Wi-Fi network, or it is the WiMAX network, or it is the connected through the Bluetooth and other technologies. So in this quality of service terms, ultimately the network provider is having the responsibility to give good services to different types of the customers. Either the customer is a normal person using a simple call and SMS, or it is the technological enabled customer which is doing the video calls, online meetings, etc. So for this generation improvement or upcoming new wireless technologies, basically we are having the requirement of the different quality parameters. Those comes under the quality of service parameters. So what before going towards the 5G or 6G technology, what we have learned from the other technologies are the if it is 2G, then we were able to send the SMS through the normal messaging scenario. Then in 3G, wireless access protocols come into the picture, and we use the web technology also. And in 4G, we are more happy that we are having the YouTube, WhatsApp, etc. facilities with high speed, and it's just like we are seeing anything online, right? So we are happy with this 4G technology, but sometimes we require more speed for some types of the broadcasting purpose, or when you want to download some movies or download some material also. So if 5G is there, then we are having more speed scenario, and we are able to connect different IoT enabled devices, because this is the era of the IoT devices, smart devices, as well as the UAVs. So through the unmanned vehicles and through these IoT devices, we are able to capture the data, and we can send immediately data towards the long distance also. So whenever we talk about this 5G technology, definitely before that we are having a comparison that in 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, how we were able to take the advantage of the technologies. So in 5G, 4G, we are having everything, and we are happy with that. But what about the upcoming 6G, and what is the other problems related with this 4G and 5G technologies? So as we are habitual now to use the wireless network technologies for different types of the connections, either some devices are at our home, or we are having some devices, offices, or anywhere, everywhere. If you want to keep watch on your children, as well as you can observe the working of the employees in your absence. So we have to be a good speed of network. We required a good camera in the mobile, and other types of advantages and advancements we required whenever we talk about this 5G 4G technologies. Some operations, if there, then we need a good speed of sending the data from here to there. In runtime, during the operation time, the data or images can be transmitted to take the advice from the expert doctors. Then driverless car is also there, UAVs are there. Means in every aspect and every feature, we are having a requirement of a higher speed for this, which we can get through this 5G, 6G technologies. So whenever we talk about the higher speed and higher type of the facilities enabled technologies, then definitely we need extremely low latency, scalability, efficiency, reliability, and security. So the 5G enabled mobile must be there definitely for using the 5G, 6G technologies. Our old mobile are not able to get the proper response and speed. Even whenever we want a high speed charger, then our mobile must be able to use that mobile must be able to bear that particular heat on the inside the chip so that it will be able to charge quickly. So there must be compatibility basically. So with the growth of the 5G 6G technology, there is a definitely companies have to do better with their equipments, their modern technology based computers or other types of the equipments. So industry required to play a major role. Some standardization authorities are there, they must go for the standardizations. Then some policymakers must be there, and the most important are the researchers and academics. So whenever we talk about the wireless technology, definitely we talk about the physical layer, spectrum, radio waves, and definitely the medium access control layers. Then we talk about the architecture. Then the core architecture is there, the software defined network is there, a network function virtualization is there, edge computing, cloud-led network slicing, etc. We have to discuss for the development and growth of these technologies. So the network protocols also there are in picture whenever we have to send data from the small network to the wider network. So whenever we talk about the small network, which is based on this Wi-Fi technology, and if the Wi-Fi is enabled with the 5G or 6G data rate and other facilities, then definitely we have to think about each and every aspect. So lots of issues are also there with the 5G and other upcoming high-speed technologies. So we have to think on the design level for the mobile and other laptop types of devices. We have to think about the different innovative equipments nowadays we are using for a smart home or a smart factory or whatever the smart is there, with the use of the IoT and other machine learning technologies. So here we have to we some security related vulnerability and exploitation also. So what is there if all these Wi-Fi, WiMAX and other local networks are enabled with the 5G 6G technologies? So as we all know that in the Wi-Fi there is a local network which is based on this direct speed spectrum, then OFDM technologies, and it is for the local use for transmission of data from here to there. So whenever we are somewhere in the Wi-Fi network, we are having laptop, mobile, we can use our smartphone and other devices for printing purpose from sending data to here to there. So it is basically over the air interface which is we are using for Wi-Fi technology, and all the Wi-Fi technology based on the 802.11 standard. And it is very older standard, but its versions are there. At the initial stage in 802.11 there was only a small speed of the 1 to 2 Gbps. Then the speed increases as we have changes the technology at the physical layer. So we are using nowadays the frequency hopping speed spectrum, direct sequence speed spectrum, and other variant and versions of these types of the modulation technique, so that we are getting the high speed for these Wi-Fi connections. So there are lots of variations and evaluation in this 802.11 for increasing the speed. So nowadays, whenever we're talking about the 5G, 6G or other upcoming technologies, we are expecting more speed. So we are getting here Mbps speed, and we are expecting the 20 gigabits per second speed in this 5G, 6G technology, and with the average speed of the 100 plus megabits per second. So the public Wi-Fi is available definitely, and we will get a good speed and good network everywhere, anywhere. Whenever we are at the airport, coffee shops or other restaurant and malls, then through the hotspot we are able to get the good data speed, and we can update our mobile applications. We can download other mobile applications whenever we are connected with the free Wi-Fi through the hotspot. So what are the risks related with the Wi-Fi whenever we are having the more speed? And definitely whenever you are driving your car with the high speed, then you cannot bear any type of the mistake. You have to be aware every time. Similarly, whenever we are having high speed of downloading, high speed of data sending, then we will get very less time for correcting our errors also. So we have to be more aware for while using these technologies. And according to the Cisco, with the growth of these Wi-Fi, the 5G, 6G enabled Wi-Fi networks, hotspots will be increases up to the 7 times to 64 million to 432 million by the 2022. So these are the surveys, these are the figures by the survey. And in practical life, we can also think that whenever we are increasing the this number of nodes, number of IP addresses, and we are also using the IP version 6, so we are able to connect lots of devices with each other. So public Wi-Fi is definitely having lots of risk, and we have seen that lots of people are there who have been suffered during the lockdown also, and in general, as discussed by the previous speakers today. I have attended that expert lecture also. So they have also discussed about the various issues related with the cyber security. So lots of things are there which happen with the users whenever they are not aware with the technologies used in your mobile especially. So what are the Wi-Fi risks which we are discussing here are very common, and everybody know about that. So we are having insufficient encryption technique. Then most important privacy threat is that as nowadays this WhatsApp is saying that we are using the end-to-end encryption with the help of this advanced encryption standard 256-bit encryption algorithm. So definitely it is more secure than the previous one. Previously the WhatsApp was using the 192-bit this AES technology. Now they have increases the number of bits for providing the more security, because privacy was the issue somewhere in some previous months. Also Zoom is using this 256-bit encryption algorithm for the more security. But previously in the stages of 1997 onwards, we were dependent on the this WEP etc., which was not the secure technologies. The second thing is the poor password protection. We generally make the password as per our ease, and so that it can be cracked easily by the attacker also. So awareness also must be there among the users while using these Wi-Fi free Wi-Fi technologies. So lots of cyber crimes are there if people are not aware about some fundamental things which is related with these type of the attacks through the Wi-Fi. So the man in the middle attack is very common attack. Through this attacker or hacker try to capture the information which is communicating between the two people. Then packet sniffers are there which try to copy your data, and they use the data with your credentials for the mishappening. So how the packet sniffer work? Actually they are taking the advantage of the common NIC mode, which is the promiscuous mode and which is not secure. So we have to set everything before using the devices basically. And in general, whenever we purchase the things, we are not aware how to set the security features and how to work with the devices securely. That training must be there. So before the using the device, what are the security features you have to enable in your device, either it is laptop, mobile, or other types of the gadgets. Sometimes we are having the technology with the hand of our children also, especially in this pandemic. We have given the laptop, mobile, etc. to the children for their classes, and they are also using something else. They are misusing the internet also. So we have to be aware, and we have to be keep watch on them. Then how they are using the technologies. So Evil Twin framework is one type of attack. In this this framework, a tool for Wi-Fi security we are using. But a fraudulent Wi-Fi access point is made by the by the attacker, and through that access point, the attacker try to capture the data. So the Wi-Fi Pineapple is one of the example of that. So this is very easy that we have purchased one free Wi-Fi device, and we have provided the facility in a common area. So people are having the ability and the nature to use the free things. So through these free things, they are sometimes comes into the struggle and they lost their confidential information. So for this purpose, we have to use our the private networks so that we can avoid these type of problems. So another advisory is to use this HTTPS, and which is only show when the websites are the encrypted. If sites is not secure, then it is not HTTPS. But sometimes the HTTPS website are also vulnerable with the secure socket layer scripting. So what user can also do, we can enable our devices with the two-factor authentication. We are all using nowadays. In two-factor authentication, we are having one SMS facility also whenever we are logging for our confidential account. So one OTP will be there, that will be comes to your mobile, then you will be able to log in. Then one more thing what we can do, we can disable our auto join to Wi-Fi network whenever we are there in the free Wi-Fi zone. Our different applications started updating themselves, because we have set the default mode. Whenever we are in the Wi-Fi, then only it will be updated. So during that updation, some information can be captured by that Wi-Fi device, or some information can be captured by the attackers. So we have to be careful about these things also. So for the security purpose, what we can do in the free Wi-Fi zone, one of the option is the parameter 81. The parameter 81 is a secure technology Wi-Fi devices, technology-based Wi-Fi device, and it is based on the zero trust application access, which is very much secure, and it has been developed by the Israel government. So this is adopted by the Apple mobile phone also. Those who are using the Apple mobile phone, they are secure with this technology. So by using whenever you are there in the restaurant, hotel, or everywhere, you must check the configuration of the free Wi-Fi devices. If the free Wi-Fi device is secure and it is having the 256-bit AES encryption or more secure technology enabled, then only we should prefer to download or use the free Wi-Fi zone. Otherwise, we are happy with our paid services. It is also easy to use. So in that way, I have discussed about the fundamental growth of these wireless generations. Either it is the 1G, G2, 4G, 5G, and also I have discussed if there are the 5G, 4G enabled Wi-Fi devices available freely as a this hotspot. Even then, we have to keep watch on our security parameters and security issues. So security requirement will be always there. Either you are using any type of advanced technology or you are using a normal phenomena. So I have more slides, but as time allotted is enough. So should I continue, or is it okay, Dr. Dalima and others?
Yes, sir, you can continue your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So now what about the third part, which is related with the research in this Wi-Fi zone, or whenever we are working with this Wi-Fi enabled scenario, right? So whenever a Wi-Fi device is there and you are one of the user in that Wi-Fi zone, then definitely you have to concentrate on the physical layer as well as medium access control layer, because these two layers only implemented there on this Wi-Fi device. So Wi-Fi device is basically having this standard 802.11, which is started from 802.AA to onward, and accordingly it has been evolved for providing the higher speed. And for higher speed, definitely there are some changes at the physical layer. So physical layer changes, then accordingly the high speed scenario we are getting. So as per the research scenario, we have to see, while we are working on the medium access control protocols at the MAC sublayer, which is the one of the sublayer of the data link layer of OSI model. So we have to keep watch on the user's behavior. Either the user is a legitimate, or it is a selfish behavior, it is having a selfish behavior, or it is having the suspicious behavior. So we have to classify users in the category of legitimate, selfish, and the suspicious. And accordingly, we can observe their working, and we can decide whether the users are a taker or a normal user. Also, we use here the backup phenomena, and through the backup phenomena, it is decided when to whom have to transmit the data on a common channel. Because whenever we talk about the medium access control sublayer, this layer is deal with the multi access on a single channel. So there must be a fair channel allocation, means every legitimate user should feel that they are getting the equal share of the bandwidth. So we are having the two types of the medium access control protocol, the static and the dynamic. And in the static protocols, we are having the traditional techniques like the TDMA, FDMA, and CDMA. But nowadays, as we have to use the bandwidth optimized in an optimized way, then definitely we use the adaptive medium access control protocol. And in the adaptive medium access control protocol, if we are in the wireless zone, then we talk about the CSMA-CA protocol. So we optimize the working of the protocol for a proper response, so that we will get the equal share of the output, as well as we will get the better throughput. So while doing the research on this scenario on working at the MAC layer, we can identify the attacker, we can handling the attacker, we can provide the adaptability in the system, and we can increase the resiliency of the user against the attackers. So the fundamental classification is there with these type of the MAC protocol and channel allocation schemes, in which we are having static allocation, dynamic allocation. And in the static allocation, I have discussed about these things. Then in dynamic allocation also several things are there. And whenever we are in this wireless scenario, we just talk about the CSMA-CA technology, carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance. Because in wireless we have to avoid the collision, because we cannot bear the collisions, as it is not a CSMA-CD. And if CSMA-CD technology is there, then there will be this closed local area network in a particular laboratory, so where we can detect anything, because we are having the connection of the wires. But here in the wireless scenario, we have to avoid the collisions, so because we are not able to easily detect the attackers. So the services at the Wi-Fi access points are the delivery of data, distribution of data, association of the malicious node, association of the legitimate node, and reallocation of the node if it is working well, then disassociation of the malicious node if it is found to be as a attacker and harmful for the system. Then authentication, de-authentication is also required, because we must know before connecting the people that those are legitimate or not. Then delivery of the data is the prime and main purpose of the every Wi-Fi network and the devices. Also, traditionally, we all know that in any Wi-Fi network, we are having different problems, and few of them are the hidden terminal problem, exposed terminal problem, fault terminal, near terminal problems. These are very fundamental problems, and we all know about these problems. As the hidden terminal in the hidden terminal problems, some nodes are hidden, so other nodes cannot identify the hidden nodes, and whenever they transmit the data, it becomes the part of the collision, because the hidden nodes also transmitting the data at the same time. Then in exposed terminal problem, the one node is exposed for a terminal A as well as for terminal B, for terminal C. So for this exposed terminal, if somebody will send the data, then possibility of collision will be also there, because the terminal A is exposed to the B, C, and D, but B, C, and D are not known about the individual existence. So they are not knowing that they are in the picture. They're just seeing the terminal A. So there will be definitely collisions. So these are two fundamental problems. Another thing, if one node is very near to the Wi-Fi device, then it will send quickly the data, and it will receive the good quality data in a quick response. But if the node is far away, then it will be difficult. So if you are near, then there are advantages. If you are far, then there are definitely some disadvantages. So this is more about the detailed description of these hidden terminal, exposed terminal problems. So now how this 802.11 work basically? So it works on the distributed coordination function scenario. In CSMA-CA protocol, there is a DCF function which deals with the distribution of the working of whole the scenario. So as the collision detection is not used here, since the node is unable to detect the channel and transmit data simultaneously. So a node must be able to listen the channel. If it founds the channel is free, then only it should send period, which is the distributed interframe spacing. Then after getting the free channel, the sender send a packet RTS, which is the request to send, and it waits for some time for the reply. And whenever the sender got the CTS, which is the clear to send, then only after waiting some time it transmits the data. So before sending any type of packet, either it is a control packet or data packet, there is waiting time. Either it is DIFS or it is SIFS. So whenever we are waiting before doing any action, then possibility of being the part of the accident or part of the collision is lesser because we are aware. So these are protocols are basically channel aware protocol. They know about the channels working. So accordingly, they transmit their data. So after transmitting the one packet, they wait for the acknowledgement and then again wait for the next packet transmission. And at the same time, the other packets are there in the waiting period with the network allocation vector, which is having a value based on the waiting period of the sender and receiver transmission. So if sender is sending one packet in the 5 seconds, so definitely other nodes will be not send any packet for that 5 seconds. Basically, we adopt the NAV based on the CTS because CTS is the actual time of the conversation because this is the clear to send. So this is the time which allowed by the receiver. This is the RTS is the time by the sender. So sender can demand anything, but ultimately whatever the demand has been approved, which is the this is the clear to send. So this is the waiting period for others. So there will be a perfect transmission. Collision probability will be less definitely. So here RTS CTS are the very small packets, and we use these packets for the handshaking before sending a large data packet. So if there will be existing collision in the previous state, then this RTS CTS will not be happened, and there will be a collision in the RTS also. So before sending the large data, we must send the RTS CTS packet, and if our data size is very small, we can direct send the data. Then there are basic DCF accessing phenomena. So there is a contention window, and from the contention window only we can choose the time when we have to send the data, because there is a common channel, and the common channel we are sharing with among the others. So at a time, anyone can be use the channel. So with the help of contention windows are having different numbers, and accordingly your chosen number, you will get the chance to transmit the data. So here the SIFS and this DIFS we are using for the acknowledgement purpose. So SIFS and this acknowledgement packet are having very small end size, and other are having larger size. So here another thing is the bake-off algorithm, and through the exponential bake-off process we decide which node should be chosen. So definitely it is the from 0 to window size -1. Let me explain you in detail also in later slides. So now the behavior of the greedy and malicious nodes in the this Wi-Fi scenario, let me discuss with you. So whenever we are having the attackers, definitely attackers are there to break the laws, to break the rules. So what attacker or selfish node can do, they can manipulate this DIFS or SIFS period. So suppose there is a waiting period of 1 hour, then and if I'm not following the rules and I am going before the 1 hour, then definitely this is the manipulations in the policy, and the nodes type of me will be considered as a this suspicious node. So these greedy nodes or attacker nodes can also do back-off manipulations. Back-off manipulations deal with the waiting period of each node. If waiting period is fixed, then you should follow the rule. If you are not following the rule, then back-off manipulations attack will be there. So this type of node also will be considered as an attacker. Then misbehavior, alpha misbehavior is there, in which what the attacker do. Attacker choose a smaller contention window. From that they choose our chance of transmission of data. Means if some 100 users are there and from 0 to 99 numbers are there available, then if 100 people will choose the number, definitely they will get a different number. So and at different numbers they will send the data, so possibility of collision will be less. But attacker don't follow this rule. What attacker will do? Attacker will multiply a number between 0 to 1 to this contention window size. Suppose it is 100. So if 100 will be multiplied by 0.5, then it will become the 50. So from the 0 to 49, there will be less possibility of there is a less possibility of getting the larger number, because the only range is 0 to 49 now for the attacker. So the range from the 50 to 99 will be for the legitimate common user. So common user will not be get benefit of the scenario when the attacker will be there to manipulate the contention window. Then again, also the beta manipulation is also there, in which also the attacker try to multiply something on the contention window, and they change a contention window size always equal to contention window minimum. Here he choose a number between 0 to 2. So how the attacker is behaving, why they are choosing a number between a range? Because the attacker want to be suspicious and intelligent. So for being intelligent, do the activity always in a different manner, so that your pattern cannot be recognized by the authorities. So in that way, for the long term, you can survive with the attacker activity. So lots of variations are there in the back-off manipulations, which can be understood easily whenever we go through for this type of the protocol variations. So ultimately, there are a greedy behavior, those who want to get their advantages. It is sometimes a good thing when a businessman wants to do good. So businessman get the advantage of being the greedy. But at the same time, the person should not violate any of the rules. So if rules are violated, then definitely it is not good for the systems, because others are not getting the proper justice. If malicious nodes are there, then malicious nodes destroy themselves as well as the system also. Means they are not getting any advantage. They are just destroying the system. They are destroying themselves, just like a human bomb. In human bomb, they exploit themselves and everything vanished. So we have to keenly differentiate the malicious activity as well as the suspicious activity. And whenever these type of attacks are there on Wi-Fi devices, then they try to manipulate the system, and the system collapses because of that. Also, there is a rogue access point which is not also doing justice with the users. So if your access point is only fake, then what you can do now? So it will not provide the equal access to the bandwidth to the others. So all these types of attack are available there whenever you are in the Wi-Fi scenario. Either it is 5G, 6G or anything else. Then resource duplication attack is also there, in which the resource is exhausted by the different attackers by sending the several requests. So what I have done here, I have developed an attack resilient and adaptive medium access control protocol, and the work related with this protocol has been published in Google. You can find the papers. So in that, what simply we have done, we have introduced one opportunist mode also. So there is normal or legitimate users, malicious users, and one special type, which is the opportunist mode of the users, in which we will give the advantage to the senior citizen type of the nodes. Means the node, those who are victim for the any type of collision, and they got the higher range of the contention window, they are not able to get the advantage properly for the equal share. We will give them an extra chance here with the help of this opportunist window. So we have created the opportunist node list here, and on that list we are addressing the people, and whenever the channel is free, then we will give them the chance. So what we are doing here, we are creating a opportunist node. So for creating the opportunist node, what we will see, and if channel load is less than the capacity, then what we will do, we will give the opportunity to these nodes for transmitting their data by setting their contention window at the minimum. So all the people will get the advantage, those who are victim of the these collisions. So this is the algorithm also for the opportunist mode of operation. Here just we will provide the opportunist mode to the users, those who are the sufferer, and just we will set their contention window at the minimum. So in that way, the opportunist mode will we get the advantage. Then how we will identify the attack? If some nodes are having the average threshold greater than 10%, then we will keep them into the suspicious list. And whenever if they are getting every time the advantages of getting the higher data transmission, higher throughput, then we will increase their suspicious counter every time by 1. So after the increment of this suspicious counter equal to 3, then we declare that these type of nodes are the attacker node, and we just remove them node. So in that way, we just identify the attacker. That second thing, when we have to observe the channel, every time we can observe. So we use here the fairness index, as the fairness index is having the value between 0 to 1. So if fairness index is proper, then it is okay. And if the fairness index is not equal to 1, then we have to increase this observation period. So whenever you, as a principal director or HOD, you visit to see the classes are not going or not properly. So once you visit after every lecture, means if one lecture is at the 10 a.m., another is on the 11 a.m. So you will visit on every starting of the lecture. And in 2-3 days, if everything is going good, then you just check on the middle of the time and at the end time. And still if it is okay, then you check once in a week only. So in that way, this observation period you decide according to the fairness index. So fairness index is okay, then everything is okay. And if it's not okay, then we have to think several times, right? So if the fairness index value is between 0 to 0.9, then there must be some suspicious activity. And if it is better than 0.9, then everything is okay. So every time we observe, if situations are not good, then we'll increase this observation period as per the Fibonacci series. As we know, there's the Fibonacci series. In next number is the addition of the previous numbers. So in that way, we will not have a continuous watching on the channel, as the continuous watching is generate a pattern, and that pattern can be easily observed by the attacker. That's why for avoiding the known pattern, we are using here the Fibonacci series scenario. So in Fibonacci series, whenever we add various numbers, we get the next number, and we increase the period if the suspicious activities are there. If all is okay, we decrease the period of observation if suspicious activities are there. And if everything is okay, then we observe in a long duration only, because we are happy that everything going in a better way. Then what we also do here, we provide some penalty and rewards phenomena. If some nodes are doing good and previously accidentally they becomes the victim of the collision and they got some suspicion counter value 1 or 2, then if they are doing good, then we can decrease their suspicion counter value if by providing the reward. And if some nodes are not doing good, they are taking extra advantage while the transmission, we provide them penalty, and we increase their suspicious counter by a value +1. Then here also we can identify the types of the attackers, right? So some attackers are there, those who are transmitting to the non-existing node. Means whenever you are transmitting to a non-existing node, definitely you will never get the acknowledgement, right? But whenever you are trying again and again, you are sending some packet to the network, and network is always busy because of this type of packets. So we have to identify this type of node using this algorithm. some attackers are there in pair, means in among the 10 people, 2 people are there, those always send to each other the packets, and in that way they don't follow the rules also, so they get more and more chance for the transmission of data. But if these attackers are only transmitting these type of packet, means control packet only, not data packets, then what happens? So performance or throughput will be decreased, because we count the throughput on the delivery of the data packet only, not these type of the control packets. So then if the suspicious counter value of any attacker is more than or equal to 3, we just disassociate them from the network. So after doing using this type of algorithm, we are getting good advantage in terms of the throughput, packet delivery ratio, mean number of attempts per frame, medium access delay, fairness, collision ratio, RTS, and data frames. And we have compared the result with the fundamental CSMA CE protocol, and we are getting the good results in terms of mostly parameters. So whatever the modification I have suggested in the access point, we can adopt those, and after making a good and secure access point, we can deploy that access point in our laboratory, our university campus, and college campus also. So this is one of the model based on that. And in that situation, whenever we are connected with the network, we must be confident. We are confident that our data privacy and everything is in a safe mode. So like that, we have done some work on that, and this is further we are applying the machine learning algorithm to improve the performance of the existing work done. Thank you very much. If any queries there, we can discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If any queries are invited. Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush Shukla, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge on wireless technology generations, IoT-enabled devices, network protocols, use of secure free Wi-Fi devices, machine learning, and many more. Such explanatory and engaging presentation and enlighten our knowledge in the field of wireless technology. Thank you so much, sir. We are very much grateful to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for providing me the opportunity to giving the lecture here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Coming towards the end of inaugural session, now I request Professor Rita Budhani, Head of Department of Computer Science, for vote of thanks in the inaugural session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madhu ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all present here. It is a moment of great honor and pride for me to take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of Sant Hedaram Girls College, Bhopal and Research Foundation of India, I extend a heartfelt thanks to our special international speakers. Respected Ms. Raina Lampu, Global Educator Stamp Instructor Greek, Ministry of Education and Religious Affair, Greek Astronomy and Space Company, Greece. Dr. Gulsun Kurubak, Anadolu University, College Open Education, Distance Education Department, Yunusamar, Turkey. Shri Rudraprasad Bhimre, President, School of Economy Policy Studies, Nepal, to take out valuable time from their busy schedule and to grace the event, thanking you for giving excellent coverage on the subject and enhanced our knowledge. A special thanks and sincere gratitude to today's keynote speakers, Dr. Rupesh Shukla, Senior Expert Member and IQSC Coordinator, Shri Cloth Market Girls Commerce College, Indore. Dr. Rahul Dev Saha, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Application and Information Technology, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee University, Ranchi. Dr. Piyush Kumar Shukla, Associate Professor, Department of CSIE, UIT, RGPV, Bhopal, for giving an excellent presentations and making this international virtual conference meaningful and interesting. and for giving deep knowledge on various technologies. I would like to thank all the dignitaries and awardees from across the globe. I would like to express sincere appreciation and gratitude to all the Research Foundation of India and JHERF and respected Dr. Saurabh Jain, Chairman and CEO, Research Foundation of India, respected Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta, Chief Managing Director, Research Foundation of India, Dr. Priyadarshini Agnihotri, President Northern South Board Research Foundation of India, Dr. Ajay Jain, President Central India Board Research Foundation of India, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, Coordinator Indore Zone Research Foundation of India, for their enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Now, I shower my heartfelt gratitude to our motivational and guidance, respected Reverend Siddh Bhauji, President Shahid Hemukalani Educational Society. I would like to express my gratitude to Shri Hiru Gyan Chandani ji, Director Sant Hedaram Girls College, A.C. Sadhwani ji, Secretary Shahid Hemukalani Educational Society, Dr. Dalima Parwani, Principal Sant Hedaram Girls College, for providing their constant support, encouragement, and motivation. I must thank to all the organizing team, all the staff members of SHGC who have been diligently supporting this international conference. Thanks to all students and participants who had been a wonderful audience. I'm sure you all had added value to your knowledge level, which was the ultimate objective of the event. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Over to you, Madhu ma'am.
Thank you, Rita ma'am. With this, we come towards the end of the inaugural session. We will be starting with the technical session 1 at 2:40 p.m., where again we would be having the distinguished personalities as resource person and keynote speakers. I would request all the dignitaries, participants to join with the same link sharp at 2:40 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, all participants and respected organizers. Myself, Professor MPS Chawla.
Thank you, sir. Sir, shall we start?
Yeah, sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We pray our heartfelt reverence and respectful homage in the lotus feet of Sant Hirdaramji Sahib. On behalf of Sant Hirdaram Girls College, I, Dr. Meenu Tehliani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, extends a cordial welcome to all of you in this first technical session of the International Virtual Conference on Technological Trends in Modern Era. A very good afternoon to everyone present here, especially the honored guest, a galaxy of intellectuals, respected dignitaries, respected teachers, and all the lovely and dear participants. In this technical session, we have Honorable Professor MPS Chawla, sir, a very renowned figure amongst us as chairperson of this session. I extend a hearty and grand welcome to you, sir. It's our proud privilege to have you, sir, amongst us. Professor MPS Chawla, sir,
Thank you, ma'am.
is Associate Professor in Electrical Engineering, GSITS Indore. He is immediate past Chairman IEEE MP subsection from 2016 to 2018. He has 30 years of experience in teaching undergraduate and 27 years in teaching postgraduate courses. He has received gold medal in B Electrical and ME Power Electronics degree from Government Engineering College Ujjain and GSITS Indore, respectively. He has published 89 papers in international and national conferences and 19 international journal papers. He has chaired technical sessions in 15 national and international conferences. He is appointed as an editor in 3 national MAD journals. He is also appointed as Associated Editor-in-Chief Chair in Blue Eyes Intelligence, Engineering and Sciences Publication, India. He was an editorial board member in IEEE IES USA, World Journal of Cardiology China, and International Editorial Reviewer Board of Artificial Intelligence Canada. He was appointed as an executive editor in International Journal of Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Canada for 5 years. He has reviewed 385 international journal papers and 215 papers in national and international conferences. He is a member of IEEE, life member of Indian Society for Technical Education and System Society of India. His special research interests are in power electronics, devices, intelligent instrumentation, biomedical engineering, signal processing, soft computing, higher order statistical techniques, control systems, and many more. Now, without wasting time, I most humbly request respected Professor M.P.S. Chawla, sir, for his intellectual and enriching address. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to be a part of this international conference, which is being organized by Hirday Ram Trust. And what I have learned from the survey and background that they have developed within a span of 15 years to great heights, and they are conducting such a renowned international conference with so many eminent speakers. I have listened to all the eminent speakers in the morning from, I think 3-4 were from abroad only. So it's a nice collection of the galaxies of the intellectuals in this conference. And I really thank to the organizers that they have given me an opportunity to be a part of their trust and organization, and hope in future that I'll be associated with them in every event they organize. Thank you. So we can start with the session, and I can request Meenu madam if they have some guidelines for how much time will be given to the participants, and how
Yes.
much time will be given to the questionnaire,
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
so that we can plan in the beginning itself.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please,
Well,
ma'am.
yeah. Well, Dean William R. Inge has once said, the aim of education is a knowledge not of fact, but of values. It is on occasion like this, we get opportunities to test our knowledge and understanding. We look forward to get an exposure about what the best of the brains think about this very dynamic topic, technological trends in modern era. We would now start with the presentations. However, due to paucity of time, we would request the presenters to please limit their respective presentations to 10 minutes. I request all the participants please to kindly take note of it. There is another important announcement. All the presentations will be adjudged and the best presentation will be awarded with the best thesis award. Wish you all the very best to all the paper presenters. Now, to begin with, I invite the first paper presenter of this session, Mr. Nitin Jain and Dr. Shanti Rathod, to present their paper on stability and impulse response analysis of optimum IIR filter for EEG artifact removal. Welcome, sir and madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone present for this particular international conference. Myself, Nitin Jain. Today, I am presenting my paper topic Stability and Impulse Response Analysis of Optimum IIR Filter for EEG Artifact Removal. Ma'am, can I share my slides?
Sir.
Okay. Thank you. It is visible?
No, sir.
Just a minute.
Nitin Jain sir, have you taken your presentation on the desktop?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So what you do, you again close it and restart, and then go for the sharing. Reshare your presentation. It will start.
Okay, sir.
Actually, sir, you have shared your screen. You just share your PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. If screen is visible, then
Yeah.
PPT.
Now it is visible. It is visible.
It is visible, na? It is visible, ma'am.
No, not now.
Just a minute. Ma'am,
Now it is visible, sir.
visible, na?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Yes. Right now, I am presenting a paper on stability and impulse response analysis of optimum IR filter for EEG artifacts removal.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, your PPT is not visible.
Just a minute.
I think you have to click on ignore button.
Ignore button. Ma'am,
Sir, if it possible, you just send us the PPT. Then we will share from our side.
okay, I will WhatsApp you
Yeah, sure.
or mail you.
WhatsApp me on the group itself.
Okay.
Madam,
Just
it
a
would be
minute.
better. It would be better.
Yeah.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Sir, your screen is visible now.
Screen is visible.
Yeah. We can see that
I
you
will
have
share
opened the
it, but-
WhatsApp.
Ma'am, PPT is visible. Eh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now it is visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry again. Yeah, these are my outlines, introduction, classification of filters, literature review, structure of IR, different types of IR filters, proposed reduced order methodology, stability analysis and results, conclusion and references. We all know that EEG signals are type of biological signals used for analyzing and observing the human brain activity for medical disease identification. And artifacts are basically unwanted signals or noise. And so in this particular paper, we have studied about the proposed filter for removal of such type of artifacts which are present on EEG signal. And these are present due to on the process of capturing the image. And here we use in our paper combination of filter, pass stop and filter, and then we optimize that particular filter and compare the stability and test it for the transfer function. We have studied various types of paper in previous researchers have done various work on that particular field for removing artifacts from EEG signal. In this particular paper, we studied the performance of a notch filter for 8th order design with cutoff frequency of 0.2 and the passband ripple band is 1.5 decibel. Then the performance is compared with our proposed filter design architecture with the filter order of 16. Then this 16th order filter is optimized by using min-max optimization method, and the transfer function is obtained. These are the EEG signal with artifacts for study. First one is your 9-channel signal, second one is your 4-channel signal, third one is your 13 data signal. In this particular figure, the orange highlighted section represent the muscular motion artifacts, or also called EMG, and yellow section represent the eye blink motion, abbreviated EOG. These are the comparison of frequency response of a notch filter and proposed IR filter of 16th order. And then, what are the various steps or evolution parameters of digital IR filters are stability analysis, filter response, and post-zero analysis. Step response, impulse response, and frequency spectral response done under the filter response category. This is the transfer. First one is your transfer function of your general transfer function equation, and the filter transfer equation for nth order filter is this one. In this paper, the IR filter is designed using the optimization of combination of two types of filter. First one is band pass and second one is stop band. The proposed structure of two stage of the IR filter in this one is your pass band filter and stop band filter. Butterworth filter is used to design pass band filter as well as stop band filter. The major challenge is to proper tuning of the cutoff frequency and sampling frequency for different amplitudes of signal for properly designing the filters. These are the work which have been done previously, and we have studied all the previous work, and we find that no one is worked on the optimized IR filter with reduced order previously, and step and impulse response as well as stability analysis is not done in previous works. The proposed methodology for this particular filter designing is, first of all, we have to initialize the filter parameters, then load the EEG data, then for study purpose that we have selected notch filter, we have to design and declare the various terms of notch filter, then design two-stage Butterworth IR filter. Two-stage means pass band and stop band. Then optimize and reduce the order of that particular filter, and then plot the impulse and step response. The transfer function of your passband Butterworth filter is this one, and the overall transfer function of IR filter of order 16 is this one. After using the optimization technique of min-max optimization, we get the second order IR filter, optimized IR filter, and this was the transfer function of that particular IR filter, S square plus 4s plus 15 upon 43. We find out and we observe the various results and the step response of notch filter as well as our design $16 filter. Then we compare the results for the stability and response. This figure shows the original artifact EEG signal, then noisy artifact EEG signal, then low pass filter response, IR filter response, and optimum IR filter response. This particular low pass filter response is your notch filter response. We get the pole for this particular notch filter in right hand side of the pole 0 plot, and for IR filter we get the poles in the left hand side of the pole 0 plot. That means our IR filter is more stable compared to the notch filter. Then we optimize that particular IR filter for second order, and we get one pole at origin and two pole which is outer from the unity circle. Means that our system is stable, but it is and the poles are outside the unity circle. Means we have to select or certain data in such way that all poles should lie in the unity circle. These are the response of passband IR filter using stopband denoising. Means frequency response. For in our analysis we got this type of frequency response. Now the result and stability performance of the filter with their orders. We have seen that notch filter of 8th order has less stable because all poles are right hand side. IR filter with 16th order is stable. All poles lies on left hand side and within the unity circle. But in case of optimum reduced order second order filter, when we optimize it by using min-max optimization, one pole lie on the origin, but two poles lies on the left hand side but outer of the unity circle. That means this particular optimized filter is closely stable. Now the last part is your conclusion. The step response filters are evaluated for 8th order notch filter, IR filter 16th order, and proposed second order filter for 3 EEG signal, channel 9, channel 4, and channel 13 were used for their filter performance. We concluded that the proposed reduced order filter improved the amplitude response and also significantly the stability and passband response. It is clear from the result that noisy artifact signals are efficiently removed by reduced order optimum IR filter. In future, stability improvement methods can also be used for better performance of optimized IR filter. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us that valuable insight. Now it will be followed by question and answer session. So in this series, first of all, I request Honorable Chairman Sir for his expert views and suggestions. Sir, please. Chapla, sir.
Actually, Nitin sir, your work is good. But my one basic question is, yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I audible?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Nitin sir, your work is good, but my one basic question is, why did you went for impulse response? Why did you went for the impulse response in your paper? It is a highlighting feature that you want to take the impulse response of IR filter.
Basically, sir, step signal and impulse signal are the very basic test signals. To check the performance of any system, we use such type of signals. And basically, noise nature is also in impulsive way. That's why we choose impulse response.
But in impulse response, you know that whatever are the poles and zeros of your system, they govern the entire system, and your frequency response becomes independent of the type of the input, because the impulse response, if you take an impulse signal, then its Laplace transform is equal to 1.
One. Yeah.
So that was the reason, or some other reason you have gone for it?
Sir, actually, we have used two section of filter. One is your pass band, and second one is our stop band. We go to for this impulse response, but to analyze a particular all types of frequency. That's why we choose impulse response.
So, sir, one more request is, in your paper title, the response spelling is wrong.
Yeah,
Please correct it.
Yes, sir. In my slide,
Because,
it is corrected. It is typo error, sir. Actually, at the time
yeah,
of sending paper, it's a typo error.
no, actually, it is okay, but they'll be sending the report of this international conference to the desired authorities. So we have to be careful in this. And one more question.
Yes, sir.
Sir. In EEG, you have the basic waves: alpha, beta, delta, theta, gamma waves.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of that?
I heard about that particular waves, but right now I'm not confident to say anything else.
Okay, but because I would request you, in your forthcoming papers and the further research work which you will carry out, should include this waves, because these are occurring within the frequency range of 3 to 14 hertz. Do you know this?
Yes, sir. These all are low frequency signals.
Low frequency signals. So obviously, when you have gone for a IR filter for EEG artifact removal, okay. So
Yes,
obviously, this waves may overlap in your artifact removal detection.
okay.
So I would request you to include these studies in your further research papers.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. I will use all these signals in my
Yeah,
next paper.
because my area, one of the expert areas is biomedical engineering, and done a lot of work in this area. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable suggestion, sir.
And
Thank you very much.
and you can see in Google, you can see my international journal papers in Francis and Sign Directs. I have worked on ECG, but for artifact removals using PCA and ICA techniques. Have you heard about it? Principal component analysis, independent component analysis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they are very statistical techniques. These are statistical techniques which can remove the artifacts in a more precise way as compared to IR and FIR filters. So I would request you, so you can go through my papers. You simply type MPS Chawla and ECG. So you will get the papers in Taylor Francis also, Science Direct also, Springer also. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Sure, I will study all that particular papers.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Minu madam, if any audience wants to ask some question,
Yes.
they are welcome.
Yes, sir. Is there any audience want to ask some question? Is anyone from audience want to ask question?
If not, we can go for the next paper.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we proceed. Yeah. Someone wants to ask the question? Okay, thank you. I would now request the next presenter, Mr. Sanjeev K. Sharma and Ms. Rini, to present their paper on understanding the role of privacy, security, and trust in Internet of Things based smart home devices adoption. Welcome, sir. Welcome, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to the members here, especially the Research Foundation of India, JHERF, and Sant Hridaram Girls College, and respected Chair Professor MPS Chawla ji. So I'm Rini, and I'm going to present on the topic understanding the role of privacy, security, and trust in the Internet of Things based smart home devices adoption. I'll be sharing my screen. Ma'am, is the PPT
Yeah.
visible? All right. So the table of content goes like this: talks about introduction, the model and objectives, the methodology, results and discussions, limitations, and future recommendations. To begin with, the topic itself talks about the IoT, which is the technical pathway from Internet to Internet of Things. Previously, we were thinking about connecting people. Now the scenario has changed and we have moved forward in talking about connecting things. So in the context of rapid technological development, the focus of internet has taken a shift. A shift from connecting the people to connecting the things. Thus, the next generation of internet revolution is enormously ushered by emerging technologies like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, to name a few. So these emerging technologies, they have embrace the tremendous influence to connect everything and anything one can imagine. So talking specifically about the smart home devices, they form a significant part of the IoT market, and the benefits which these smart things, the IoT based devices provide includes the energy efficiency, convenience, remote access to the devices, and the ability to schedule the tasks. Then, talking in context of the developing countries, the smart home devices are still at a primitive and an infancy stage. And in specific concerns related to data privacy, security, and trust, these concerns hampers the adoption of the smart home devices. So this study, it extends the UTA-UT model, that is the model which is basically to check the adoption of the technology among the consumers, a unified theory of acceptance. It has couple of variables, but my model, I have added 3 more constructs related to data security, privacy, and trust to gain a better understanding of the adoption factors among the consumers. So the research model here is reflected in the figure, and the objective is to understand the influence of these 3 additional constructs, including the ones which are core constructs of the UTA-UT2 model, on the intentions to adopt the smart home devices. Talking about the methodology, so the quantitative approach is used in this research. It's a primary data collection. In specific, the data gathered was prepared for analysis, followed by preliminary quantitative data analysis conducted for the research sample, which is 100, out of which 54% was female and 45.9% were the males. Respondents were above 18 years of age. They were invited to complete the survey via an email or a survey link because of the pandemic concerns, and data was collected using a convenient sampling approach via an online self-administered questionnaire. Talking of the results, the proposed causal relationships were evaluated using structural equation modeling. All the variables, they exhibited Cronbell alpha values which were higher than 0.70, indicating the internal reliability. Further, the requirements for the convergent validity were also met, as all the composite reliability exceeds the value of 0.7, and AV, that is the average variance extracted values, they were above 0.50. All the p-values for the respective hypotheses, they were significant, and the model provided a good fit to the data. Talking about the limitations and the future recommendations, the study had the limitation that the sample was collected primarily from the northern region of India. So just to have a broader perspective to understand the various other regions' perspective over this, we need to explore in the future studies taking into consideration the different regions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was surely a very reading talk. Once again, I request Professor Chawla sir for his suggestions. Sir, please.
Ma'am, it was a nice presentation and you have done a good work. Now my question is, what were the privacy challenges for you?
The privacy challenges in context
What
of...
are the privacy issues you have taken in your research work?
The privacy as a variable...
Means, what are the aspects you have covered?
Yes.
Yeah, as a variable.
Yes, because as a variable, the data privacy is major concern among the consumers using the technology-oriented devices. So the privacy in context of technology orientation, like the smart devices, whether my information would be leaked, whether it would be shared with some other, the third party users. So that concern of the customers, that whether my personal data would be leaked to the third party, how it would be used, would it be hampered and used in some other way? So that is the take of privacy in this context.
Okay, suppose you are transferring the data from one place to another place. So have you ever heard about the hash algorithms, secured hash algorithms?
Sir, I'll have to check on this because yes, sir.
Yeah, I would request you, ma'am, because it is a related area with cryptography. I think you are from this side, IoT and computer side, so you might have heard about the cryptography at least.
Yes, sir. You basically
Have you heard about?
code the data and you change the data into some signals and then you go about it. This basic topic is from
Yeah.
marketing management, sir. So I was not going into the details of the technology. I was more consumer oriented.
Okay.
So I will check on this bit as well.
Okay. Yeah. Because, ma'am, if you cover these aspects in your paper and in further research, it would be more lucrative, and you will get a more number of readers to appreciate your research work.
Thank you, sir.
Otherwise, your work was very good.
Sure, sir. Your feedback taken in a positive way, sir. Thank you so much.
That is from my side. Meenu, madam, you can ask.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone from
And
audience?
let me tell you, the participants and those who are presenting.
Hello.
You are presenting the paper. Everybody is contributing in their own way, very nicely.
Yes,
but
sir.
Since we have been doing work in this area also, and from our past experience, we would request you to incorporate this, which will be beneficial for your career also and your students also. That is from my side. And if now any questions are there from the audience side, Meenu madam, you can ask them or welcome them.
Yeah. Anyone from audience would like to ask question?
If no question, that means whether they have really understood or they might not be interested in asking. There are two options.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So I would request the audience if they can ask even a tidbit questions to the presenter. That adds to their actually willpower and appreciate their research work. Nobody? Okay.
Even though
Meenu madam, then we can.
Yeah, sir. Even though other presenters can ask the question. Okay. Then thank you. Now I request Dr. Abhay Pal to present his paper on application of artificial intelligence in the field of orthodontics. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'll share my slides now.
Yes, sir.
Are my slides visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to the chairman. Good afternoon, Anna. Thank you for this opportunity. So the topic of my paper is the next paradigm shift in orthodontics. And I have written this along with my HOD and several other professors and HODs in and around Maharashtra and Indore. So I'd like to start by introducing the topic of orthodontics to the people who are unaware. So orthodontics is the specialty of dentistry that addresses the malpositioning of teeth. So basically, whenever you see anybody with braces in the street, most probably an orthodontist has put those braces on their teeth. So in case there are dysfunctions or malalignments of jaws, so our upper jaw and lower jaw, if they are not exactly present in the way it's supposed to be. The orthodontist can help with that. During the growing phase of an individual, they can modify the facial growth along with skeletal growth to get better results and to increase the aesthetics and functions of an individual by a huge margin in some cases. Some people with extremely malaligned teeth have functional issues, have problems such as bad breaths, problems of aesthetics, problems of even psychological nature, where they are not confident enough. And the branch of orthodontics can help an individual with all of these issues, along with the respective specialties. So as we can see in this on the left side, that there's an individual with pretty severe malocclusion. As we can see, their teeth are a little not in line, as you would say, in occlusion and as well as according to the 6 keys of Andrews, where after treatments, this treatment went around for around 2 years without any extraction of teeth. So that's also an important decision to make, whether this case will require extractions, will require this to be done just by slight stripping of the teeth, or it can be managed without any of those. And reaching here also requires several considerations to be taken into account, and as well as a lot of effort on the side of the doctor as well as the patient. So in the orthodontic field, reaching a certain objective can be done in many, many different ways. And each individual orthodontist has their own preferences, biases, and the evidence in literature also points us to preferred methods for preferred scenarios. But again, individual cases and the patient preferences and the orthodontic preferences always give us variable sort of opinions if you ask any orthodontist. So other than the variability of options, we also deal with a lot of biomechanics. So as we can see on the image in the right, the bracket itself has a lot of built-in specifications, as in the tip, torque, and angulation of each tooth is pre-adjusted inside the bracket itself. The wires have different properties to themselves, and one tooth and often interacts with the other, always interacts with the other, in fact, causing unforeseen side effects unless the person, the specialist has taken into account all of it. So sometimes what happens is that even though we consider most of the majority of the factors that are involved, some factors are always bound to be missed, because there are at least 3 dimensions and 32 teeth. So that's a lot of variables that an individual has to factor in each and every treatment. So we know that outsourcing a lot of just mental labor, just raw mental labor, in a sense, instead of an intuitional or overall broad perspective treatment planning, can be done nowadays through artificial intelligence. So we know that artificial intelligence can be compared to mechanical, the revolution. So back in the day, when human physical labor was the main way to get anything done, from building structures to farming, the human physical labor was gradually taken over by machines in almost every field. So humans could transition from more physical labor to a sort of intellectual labor. And now in this day and age, we see that a lot of intellectual labor, or often repetitive labor that we don't want people to be doing, that can be taken over by artificial intelligence. So this will enable us to transition to more human-centric and more human resource and more creative sort of fields. And orthodontics is a field where dealing with patients, you need the human connect, and often by giving more time to the specialist to attend to one patient, we get better results. So in our, as well as most fields, artificial intelligence has always seen the fears and concerns. So it is up to us to finally address this issue, whether it's irrational or the concerns are valid. So in the terms of job opportunities, many people have obviously said that the next dystopia is that most jobs will be taken over by the robots, and we'll just be a small, like the ruling elite will just have control of them, and most people would be living in very bad conditions. But in the case of orthodontics, at least, if jobs, in our case, in case of medical specialty, the jobs we need and the jobs we have to do are always in order to serve the patient. So if an artificial intelligence can do a better job at treating an individual, I think we should prioritize that. And it is also seen that in many fields, whenever the AI has taken over these jobs, it has freed people and given them more time, and the physician can be more precise and more efficient. So thus, it's not a replacement for a practitioner, but in fact, it's a tool for the practitioner. And next is the quality of output. It has also been seen that when AI is used as a tool, that better results are inevitably achieved because it's an invaluable tool and it learns with experience as such. So the following few slides I'll be talking about where in our field we have been using artificial intelligence. So the most common and the most phase changing or paradigm shifting thing that has happened in our field is clear aligners. So clear aligners are basically they are a replacement to the traditional brackets that we put on teeth, and they themselves can guide the teeth into the position we want it to. So this is not a fictional aspect anymore. It is regularly being done by many companies, the most famous one being Invisalign, Smile aligners, Flash aligners. There are several. And all of these companies use some form of artificial intelligence and algorithms in order to finally program. So the orthodontist or the person at the software end, they will simply input the pre-position that we take through CAS and records, and then we decide the final position in the desired position in which we want to be. And the software itself will decide how that exactly is done through a progressive step of aligners. The only disadvantage to this is that currently these companies and the algorithms they use are pretty limited, as in it only narrowly views the aspect of tooth movement, and it does not consider other elements such as the functional issues the patient might occur during and after treatment, the final aesthetic considerations, the soft tissue considerations, because in some cases, let's say the upper teeth are very proclined, they are in frontly forwardly placed, and we have to take it back. It might not consider the thickness of the lip of the patient, which can affect the final results. And finally, this is an issue faced by artificial intelligence in almost every field, is that it will learn from the data it has been given. So in case the algorithm has been fed cases that have not been finished to the gold standard or the ideal, it will also give outputs later on that will not finish in the gold standard. So that's an important issue to consider. Then, other than aligners, also decisions when we have to, consider a patient for surgery. So as we can see in the image to our right, that this individual had a very deficient chin, or their mandible, their lower jaw was very set back as such. So it's not just simulating this, but also taking the final decision as, is this a surgical case? Can this be managed through alternative skeletal anchorage or some newer methods? So all of this can be helped. All of this requires additional data points for the orthodontist to make the final decision. So artificial intelligence has been very helpful in that it has been able to denoise imagery, and with the less exposure, we get better quality three-dimensional imaging. And again, the treatment planning is helped a lot by this artificial intelligence, Dolphin 3D imaging, and many other softwares nowadays incorporate all of this. So also the manufacturing of stents so as to position the jaws in the correct position has been done through CAD CAM, which again uses a certain amount of artificial intelligence nowadays. And so this has been proven to be a very good tool in the surgeons and orthodontist field when it comes to orthognathic surgery, and it gives the confidence to the surgeon and the patient themselves as to how they will look later on after the treatment by simulation surgeries. So that has been incredibly helpful in this field. In a paper by Huang et al. In 2016, so they did a review of all of the current programs that were diagnosing these cases. So surgery cases, yes, I agree that they are almost clear cut in most cases. But again, as we can see on the left, the numbers are pretty good, approaching at least 90%. And cumulatively, the total success rate for decision making is 91%. And yes, even in today's day and age, with 91% when it comes to surgery, we will not take that call just based on this. But it also adds to a data point in the entire sheets that we have while making the final decision. Next comes cleft lip and cleft palate. So artificial cleft lip, cleft palate is a scenario that happens to infants. It's a failure of the lip or the palate, the inside part of your mouth, to fuse during the pregnancy stage, causing babies to have a little cleft in their lip or palate. So artificial intelligence has been incredibly helpful because it has enabled robot-assisted surgery for things to be done almost remotely in some cases, and it can also assess the genetic risk either through analyzing the parents' genetic profile or the fetal genetic profile. And finally, it has also been able to assess and evaluate facial attractiveness. So previously, I told that it won't like the artificial intelligence wasn't exactly considering facial attractiveness or aesthetics, but if it was specifically trained for this purpose, then it has also been seen to be an effective tool in this area as well. How do this surgery or this method of surgical approach will affect the final aesthetics? That input data has also been given by AI and neural networks. Finally, the cellular-Tarsica bridging. That phenomenon, whether it happens or not, or the exact rate of it happening, has been further enhanced through artificial intelligence. And finally, dental cephalograms. So the basic analysis of how the jawbones are based on the X-rays, that has been gradually been taken over by artificial intelligences. And finally is temporomandibular joint osteoarthritis. So the joint we have here in front of our ear, that while it moves while we open or close our mouth, that can sometimes be affected due to several amount of reasons, right? There could be some kind of skeletal defect there, or because of some functional problem in our occlusion, the way we bite. It could be caused by natural, changes in the body, or sometimes even the orthodontists themselves can, if they don't take care enough, can cause these TMJ issues. So the diagnosis and classification of this morphology or the morphology defect in the osteoarthritis can be done better through artificial intelligence, giving us a better input into how we should proceed when it comes to these patients. So to conclude, I'd say that the artificial intelligence is a revolutionary paradigm shifting technology that is now being incorporated into the field of orthodontics. And we have seen several paradigm shifts in the field of orthodontics because our field is just probably 150 years old. And we have seen several paradigm shifts, and this seems to be the upcoming next paradigm shift. There are several valid concerns, such as the type of cases and the type of data that algorithms are being fed. And there are also some irrational fears as to that jobs, our entire field will be taken over by programs. And then tooth movement planning, orthodontic surgery, cleft lip palate, and TMJ osteoarthritis are well explored and well further enhanced through AI, finally giving us better results and better care for the patient. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those invaluable research. Over to you, respected Chawla, sir.
Other side, it was an excellent work done by you, and have covered a lot of aspects. I should congratulate you. You have done a lot of work in this area, incorporating
Thank you, sir.
machine learning, artificial intelligence, and artificial neural networks. Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me your affiliation, where you are doing job, what kind of services?
Sir, actually, this is more of a review sort of article. So the only research I've done as such is based on the cephalometric analysis done through the neural network programs. But I'm currently based in the Rural Dental College and in Loni, Maharashtra.
Okay. In Maharashtra, you are there.
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, suppose you are using machine learning. So any use of Python language you are doing in your project?
Sir, mostly, at least in our, hello. Yes, sir. So mostly in our
Yeah.
projects, the
Please, please.
AI, the code part and all of that mainly is done by our programmers. So I'm not in touch with the software side as such, but the basic analysis of data and the orthodontic aspect, I'm engaged in.
That means you are giving the clinical philosophy
Yes.
and terminology to the programmers to fit to your requirement and suggest a suitable treatment as well as solution for the problems and diseases. No?
Yes, sir.
Am, am I interpreting correctly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely correct, sir.
Okay.
So we will
Nice,
just
nice
give
work,
our
nice work.
like. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please, please, please. You want to say something?
Yes, sir. So we basically, in most cases, like in clinics and all, if the patient desires aligners, so we just give the final desired results. And so sometimes some approaches we know that will save the time of the patient, so we do that accordingly. And so some intuitive things that we understand, sometimes the algorithm doesn't know it by itself. So inputs from our side also are regularly required.
Okay, good. Meenu madam, if there are any questions from the audience, you can invite them.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Is there any question from the audience side? No questions? Okay, thank you. I now request Mr. Ankur Pandey to present his paper on an adaptive flying ad hoc network for disaster response operation to improve quality of services. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, can I share my PPT?
Yeah.
Is it visual, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon, one and all, every present here. Today, I am going to present my paper on adaptive flying ad hoc network for disaster response operation to improve quality of services. So, first of all, we should know about what is flying ad hoc network. In flying ad hoc network, basically there is some nodes, which is basically unmanned air vehicle, or like we can say that drones are like movable nodes which are connected with each other with a ground based station or some satellite. Uh, with the help of flying ad hoc network or drones technology, we just use on like disaster response operation, military operations, and in some current scenario in COVID scenario, we also seen that we use drone to distribute medicines, masks to patients, to needy people, to serve the society. So where the human intervention is very impossible, like some COVID pandemic. So we use some technology machines, very advanced machine to serve the society. So here we use flying ad hoc network to communicate and to send data to ground station and take decision according to the situation of the disaster operation like earthquake, flood, etc. So we just develop a system, an adaptive system for in the terms of quality of services, better packet delivery ratio, cluster lifetime, uh, we use the flying ad hoc network. So it's my today presentation outline: introduction, research motivation, literature survey, problem statement, research objective, proposed methodology, and after that experimental analysis, comparative analysis, and references. So we should start. Shall I start about introduction first of all? Basically, when we talk about ad hoc network, wireless ad hoc network, it is a decentralized type of wireless network. It is a spontaneous network, and we just built when we need such type of network, which includes mobile ad hoc network, managed vehicular ad hoc network, and flag ad hoc network. First of all, FANET is basically used in disaster response. It is derived from vehicular ad hoc network and mobile ad hoc network. In FANET, unmanned air vehicles are network nodes which are present in the form of a group communicating with each other with no need to access point, but at least one of them connected to a ground base or satellite. Their rapid topological changes, 3D environmental condition, and different, they create different mobility patterns and terrain structure, because that's why they create a dynamic topology and harsh front environment. So it's produced many network challenges to communicate with each other and to transfer data to the ground station. So it's all about introduction. So now we talk about research motivation, because of the fast mobility of the unmanned air vehicle and their harsh network structure, 3D environmental condition, limited battery energy, because the drones are just inbuilt with some battery power, battery backup. Limited battery energy and high mobility of UAV represent two main problems. First problem is that short flight time and inefficient routing, because short flight time drones are some basically gone on ideal condition, and also some drones are going to out of the coverage of the cluster head nodes. So various properties of nodes like structuring, categorization, and clustering issues may occur. So for that, nodes are combined on the basis of various properties of nodes like mobility, location, velocity, and energy to form cluster by using clustering technique. Basically, clustering are done by their look on their current location from the head cluster head node. We find out the neighborhood cluster neighborhood drones location. On the basis of their location and mobility, we decide which nodes will join the cluster head. There are in my research, we use some bioinspire technique to improve the quality of clustering for large diamond network. Basically, we use the cuttlefish optimization, sharp sum optimization, and grasshopper optimization techniques, and came with the and we also use k-means clustering for make perfect clustering on our nodes. So basically, our purpose of research is to design and development of an adaptive and improved quality of service-based clustering approach in flying ad hoc network. And this are literature survey. There are various papers already published in different reputed journal. So there are some we mentioned there are some papers. Abbas Krami, and they use network simulator, and also we work on MATLAB 19 model. There are some MATLAB 8150 and S2 simulator. There are some paper, and there are some other literature survey. And finally, we got on problem statement. So what we when we done our literature survey, we go through lots of paper. We find out something that the dynamic structure, more speed, and least stability, infertile routing, flight time, and maximum energy consumption enhances the packet failure and delays in flying ad hoc network. Drones suffer from some issues like short flight time and improper routing approach because of controlled battery energy and maximum velocity, which is required to be improved. Distance is not necessary factor to select the cluster. There can be various other important factors like energy, mobility, location, and partition obtained from the best cluster head, which is still required to analyze. Because generally we calculate the neighbor cluster interface interaction with the cluster head, because on we can't select we can't select member nodes on the basis of, not just because on the basis of their location or their distance on not only on the basis of distance, we also calculate their energy, power, mobility, and location. So we use some other clustering technique also. And there are some of it's my research objective to demonstrate the clustering approaches and optimization technique in brief for mobile nodes, explaining how the nodes are combined to form cluster, to examine the basic information of previous clustering technique, and to analyze the pros and cons of existing technique, to improve the clustering competence with optimized cluster of nodes in dynamic flying ad hoc network environment. So it's our proposed methodology. The key objective of proposed research work is to subsequently study the purpose and use of clustering technique, which obtain clustering in optimal manner to improve the quality of efficiency of data transmission. Basically, we propose 4 techniques: cuttlefish optimization based clustering approach, COCA, and other one is grasshopper optimization based clustering algorithm, and third one is SAP swarm optimization clustering algorithm, and K means fruit fly optimization based clustering algorithm. Basically, we done clustering for selecting their member nodes to will basically who will join the which cluster head. Uh, so we use 4 bioinspired technique cuttlefish on the basis of their natural nature of cuttlefish, because cuttlefish uh, generally divide the environment and all other things on their visual pattern. And same here, grasshopper actually just like you all hear about that which will belongs some cluster head belongs to all member nodes, follow to all member cluster. So we use 4 biosphere technique in our research. So for basically we will discuss about also with cuttlefish there. So we can't say that the drawback, we will say that there's some limitation with the cuttlefish. That's why we use grasshopper, and after overcome to the limitation of grasshopper, we use subswarm optimization technique. So first we will start with the cuttlefish optimization. In cuttlefish optimization, we generate the cluster head drones among all the cluster and their member drone with the help of drones energy and their and after that contribution of drone in information transmission in flying ad hoc networks. Drone location are obtained by using GPS technology, because all drones are already inbuilt with the GPS technology. So we will find out the location of drones on the with the help of GPS technology, and after that we will calculate drones energy of suppose we use 100 drones for some disaster operation. Then we suppose at the time of instant we release all 100 drones in particular area. Then after some time we will calculate all drones energy, and after their location, and on the basis of drones energy we find out the cluster head and their member drones. So in this paper, in this technique, we calculate drones energy on the basis of key drone association, path key association, and path drone association. And so this is some steps we use in COCA. First, evaluate key drone association, path key association, evaluate drone energy, obtain cluster head drone having higher energy than threshold value, and initialize the cuttlefish algorithm or find out the cluster member. So it's our approach to find out the cluster head drone and their member drones on the basis of their energy, their location, with the help of GPS technology. And some we calculate their range of transmission drone velocity. We fix some number of drones, size of network. On the basis of their some parameter, we calculate performance evaluation like packet delay ratio, energy expenditure, cluster existence time, and end-to-end delay. And so there are some also limitation of cuttlefish approach. There are little few different like COCA that it's basically faced with problem of local optimum problem, and we can't select the drones, cluster head drones and their member drones not only on the basis of single objective function like there and on the basis of not like energy or mobility. So we actually talking about optimal solution. So we have to focus on some other parameter. That's why we use grasshopper optimization algorithm, clustering algorithm. In this approach, we calculate drones neighborhood involvement because suppose first of all we calculate drones energy and their location, but we also find out which drone which drone and go in ideal condition or which drone are more actively participate in their transmission. So first of all, so we will calculate neighborhood environment also, and their velocity and their energy we already calculated some, but at this different time moment, different time instance, we again and again calculate their energy and participate involvement. On the basis of these calculation, we will find out the member drones and cluster head drones. So there are some steps: evaluate their participation, combining energy, and initialize grasshopper optimization approach. So again, we use some parameter. On the basis of their parameter, we also calculate packet delivery ratio, because we just calculate these parameter on the different approaches to find out which algorithm we should use to get out the best optimal solution for our problem. That's why we again and again run our algorithm to calculate these performance evolution for the calculate some parameter. So there are also some limitation with grasshopper optimization. So we overcome this optimization limitation. Again use SARPSOM optimization based clustering approach. Here we calculate UAV contribution matrix. We will make some matrix to calculate their UAV participation, key UAV matrix, path key matrix, and path UAV matrix. On the basis of these matrix calculation of these matrix, we find out UAV's mobility, and or we can say that drones mobility, their energy utilization, their final significance, and their load balancing factor. So because it's very important to calculate load balancing factor of different drones, because it's our main concern that no drones will go in ideal condition. All drones participate to solve the problem, to find out the optimal solution of our problem, or we can say for disaster response operation. So on the basis of these matrices, these parameter, we calculate member, find out cluster member and their member cluster on with the basis of these steps. So again, we use some experimental analysis. We calculate time complexity, performance evolution, packet delivery ratio, and other thing like cluster existing time, cluster construction time, throughput. So there are also some limitation with the SARPSOM optimization. To overcome these limitation, we use k-means fruit fly optimized clustering approach. It's so we can proudly say that these optimization techniques are basically we use to finalize all things, to calculate all the UB's nodes participation, to find out the cluster head node, their member nodes. In this technique, we use node key matrix, key path matrix, node path matrix, nodes mobility, nodes energy, and nodes final weight we calculate.
Sorry, Ankur sir, to interrupt you. Already 10 minutes are over. You are given 2 minutes more to conclude the presentation.
Okay, so we will go to summary and discussion. Finally, we seen that k-means fruit fly operation technique is give optimal result to solve the disaster response situation. It gives better communication to ground-based station. So we use k-means fruit fly optimization technique to solve our problem. As compared to all cuttlefish optimization, grasshopper optimization, SARPSOM optimization, these four multi-object methodology utilizing single and multi-path routing based on several factors like mobility, contribution, energy utilization, load balancing factor, UAV. So finally, we use k-means fruit fly optimization algorithm, and and we can say that in conclusion that UAV are high-speed devices with limited battery power used in several rescue and military operation over flying ad hoc network. The problem was small flight duration and unproductive routing due to the limited power of battery. So the simulation output showed that k-means fruit fly has generated better efficient performance than an existing algorithm like CLPCO, KCONET, Grasshopper, and energy clustering network on the basis of packet delivery ratio. throughput. These all are the parameter: cluster building time, cluster head lifetime, number of cluster end-to-end delay, and consumed energy. So in future, we also develop some other optimization algorithm to get better result, and also we use multiple objective as per the requirement of dynamic nodes with very high mobility. So we also work on the time complexity of different optimization algorithm, bio-inspired optimization algorithm. So thanks. It's from my end. Any question?
Thank you, sir, for sharing your immense knowledge with us. Now I request Professor Chawla sir for his expert views. Over to you, sir.
Sir, it was a nice presentation. Now, as far as clustering is concerned, okay, what are the major issues in the failure of proper clustering? There are certain situations where your clustering requirement is not fulfilled or it is not proper.
So basically, we face when we talk about flying ad hoc network, because of their limited battery energy and fast rapid topological changes of their 3D environment, we face some routing problem with all other nodes. So that's why we use clustering technique to find out the cluster head and their member drones. So we use if we done a better clustering for all existing node, we find out better optimum result to our problem. That's why we use clustering technique.
No, that is true. But what are the different methods of clustering which are used on the priority basis?
Sir, basically clustering is done on the basis of their location and on the location only, on their distance. On two factor basically work: their location and distance from the main cluster head. We also use some k-means clustering technique also, and there are some other technique also. But in our research, we use only three techniques on the basis of their location and their location, their velocity, and on the basis of k-means clustering, we find out the cluster.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
So, any questions from the audience, ma'am? You can welcome them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I invite anyone from audience would like to ask question. Okay, now thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now we are moving towards our last presentation of this technical session. In case if any of our delegate wishes to present, then you are most welcome. Kindly share your name and title of paper in the chat box. Is it clear to all? Then now moving forward, I request the last presenter of this session, Dr. Shalini Stellan, to present a paper on an image encryption scheme using blocks. We welcome you, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Okay, ma'am, I am audible.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for giving me this chance, ma'am. Today, my presentation would be totally based on an encryption technique, which would help us to understand how the images can be protected while sending them over an open channel, and what are the basic attacks would be there. So I'll just share my screen. Is my PPT visible, presentation visible, slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the name itself defines that it is an image encryption scheme using blocks. So the blocks here defines that an image would be divided into several number of blocks, and then each and individual block would be encrypted using a different key, and then after the encryption, the whole image would be combined and would be sent to the receiver side. Now, what are the various techniques which would help us to divide images into different number of blocks, and how these blocks would be encrypted? That is being explained in the further slides. So the outline would be abstract, introduction, problem identification, proposed work, conclusion, and the references. So as the demand of digital world is increasing day by day, and we as an user are exchanging lot of data in the form of images, and in the pandemic we have seen that lot of data have been exchanged over the open channel. So if I'll talk in terms of medical area or research area, so lot of data in the form of images, like a report of an patient or any graphical images have been exchanged. So how they can be protected? So for this, I have proposed uh, a technique which would help us to divide the image into blocks. Now, how does it work? In this, an image would be divided into 16 blocks, and each block would be encrypted by its own method. What are these methods can be seen in the further slides. So this is the whole flow chart. This I would be explaining with each method. So the three proposed methods are NVSS scheme. The second one is nonlinear 2D chaotic map and DNA sequencing. And the third one is DNA sequencing for the 4D logistic map. Now, what is NVSS? Now, the name itself says that Natural Visual Secret Sharing. So in this, an image which has to be shared with the person, that would be divided into blocks. Now this is the code which is being written in MATLAB that would help us to divide the blocks into divide the image into 16 blocks. The range has been defined. So A1, A2, A3 defines the blocks number, and 1 is to 64 comma 1 is to 64 defines the range from where the pixel range is being shown, what would be the size of that particular block. So the whole method would be like this. When our image is being divided into 16 blocks, each block would be hidden or would be hidden into a natural share. Now the natural share here refers to an image of a scenery or a tree or a plant or a flower. It can be anything related to the nature. So inside that image, the first divided block which is being there would be hidden. Such would be done for the 16 blocks, and 16 different images would be sent to the sender. So at the sender level, he would obtain those 16 images, and he would obtain those 16 blocks and would merge them and obtain the original images. Now here you can see the example of the natural images. Nature related images are being there, and inside them the secret image has been done. So here I have selected image to be hidden is this the cameraman, which is being divided into 16 blocks, and then those blocks are being hidden individually in 16 different images. Now, the slide here shows that the histogram of the image. Histogram depicts the quality of the image. So even after hiding the secret image inside the original nature-related image, the histogram is not being affected much. That means if the intruder finds the images on image on the way, he would not be able to understand whether it contains any secret message within it. So this was the first proposed methodology, but it has some limitation. If the intruder is smart enough and if he applies any strong decryption method, so it would be easy for him to dissolve the cover and obtain the original image. So to overcome this, I have proposed the second methodology, that is the non-linear 2D chaotic map. Now, in this, we have taken a two-dimensional chaotic map. Along with that, we have taken the concept of DNA. As DNA consists of 4 molecules, that is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. So we have allotted them the binary notations of 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. And thus, whenever we obtain any bit, that is being converted in the form of 4 molecules of DNA, and thus that data is being transferred. So the steps are like this. Here the image of Lena has been taken, that is being divided into 16 blocks, and the 16 blocks is being encrypted using encryption method. And when these are being encrypted, so whatever data we would obtain, that would be converted into the form of guanine, cytosine, thymine, and adenine. For example, here you can see a bit of 110110000 is being generated. Now, if we want to represent it this in DNA form, that would be TCGA, that is according to the rule number 4 and rule number 7 of this table. So rule number 4 and rule number 7 of this table. So this methodology for two-dimensional chaotic map along with the DNA has made our encryption method more stronger, and now the chances of intruders decrypting the image and obtaining the original image has decreased to a larger extent, and the image transmission has become very secure over the open channel. Now in this different the results are being compared on different parameters with the existing methodologies and with the existing block image encryption methods also. But the main limitation of this approach was that we have tested this encryption method only for the image of 256 by 256, and we could not test it for other image size. So this was overcome in the next third proposed methodology, which includes 4-dimensional chaotic map along with the DNA sequence. So in this method, the whole procedure is same, but what different we have done is that we have tested this methodology, which with all the dimensions, all the pixel size of the images, which has proved that our proposed methodology proves to be much better compared to the existing ones. And as I said in the starting, each and every block would be encrypted with a separate key. So here the combinations of keys has been done, and how all the keys are being combined, and that is being sent to the receiver so that he can encrypt the ciphertext. Now the pixel substitution is also being introduced in this, which would help us to rearrange the position of the pixels and increase the complexity of the ciphertext which is being sent. And this is the graph. Now in this we can see that we'll take the image, input image, will divide it into 16 blocks. Now for those 16 blocks, simultaneously two processes would be performed. One is pixel substitution, and on the other hand, bit sequencing would be performed. So after pixel substitution, the code which we would generate would be converted into DNA sequencing. Then after DNA sequencing, a DNA subtraction would be performed, and after DNA subtraction, XOR of both the results would be performed, and thus the output which we would obtain would be act like a cipher image which would be transmitted. So this whole method makes our encrypted image or the cipher image so strong that it would be difficult for any intruder to identify whether the image consists of 16 blocks or whether they are being encrypted by 16 different keys and they are being merged. So we have taken, as in the two-dimensional, we were having a limitation that we have tested with fixed size. Now here we have tested it with all the dimensions possible for us, and we have obtained that it has worked well with all the dimensions images, and it was successfully sent, and at the receiver side it was successfully decrypted. And these are the few comparisons which we have done with the existing results, and we have also calculated the signal to noise ratio, and we have seen whether it is works well or does it justify itself. The entropy has been seen that for an image entropy, the best entropy value is 8, and for the proposed result we have seen that it is approx 7.9, 7.2, which shows that it is can be used for different purposes. So these are the different comparisons. Now, if we'll talk about the further future work, so this can be implemented for in many area like video or audio. We can go for. It was just limited for the image itself. So I'll end up my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your invaluable research. Over to you, respected Chavla sir.
Yeah, ma'am, it was really a nice work, ma'am.
Thank you,
Can
sir.
you tell me where you are working? What type
Uh,
of where you are working, ma'am?
Sir, right now, sir, I'm working in Triple IT Bhopal as an assistant professor in the Department of Information and Technology.
Okay. So
Yes.
it is a nice amount of work which you have done,
Yes,
and
sir.
even on the cipher images, and
Yes, sir.
how to protect the image data from the
Yes, sir.
intruders. And
Yes, sir.
so, are some other students working with you?
Yes, sir. Right now, I have means the students are there who are working with me, and we are in a stage that we are trying to develop a model which would help us in protecting the audios which would be sending. Right now, we are working on a clip of 1 minute, and we are seeing the pitch variations, and we are seeing how it can be protected, and without any alteration, it can be sent to the receiver side.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm also working in the area of image processing. Lot of PG projects I have guided. Lot of
Uh,
international national journal papers I have published. So you can
okay, sir.
simply type in Google my name, MPS Chawla.
Sure, sir. Yes,
So
sir. Today it's my privilege to have you with in this conference, because from the starting I have been observing your suggestions to all the presentees. And sir, I'm really glad to have you here, and I have gained a lot. And right now I'll be going through all your publications, and I know I'll be gaining a lot of knowledge now.
yeah, ma'am. So because I have also worked on cryptography, also
Yes,
watermarking. So a
yes.
lot of even on motion weakened detection using image processing techniques.
Okay, sir.
So you can simply type my name MPS Chawla and
Sure, sir.
just
Right
give
now
image
I'll follow.
processing.
Yes, sir, sure.
है ना? And
Yes, sir.
my email ID I have shared in the group.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So
Yes,
in
sir.
the chat box also. So any of the suggestions or help is required, you are
Sure,
all
sir.
most welcome.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Anyone from audience would like to ask a question? No questions? Thank you. No doubt, the presentation skills of all the presenters were indeed impeccable. It was absolutely incredible how you tailored your messages for the audience and captivated them from the beginning of your presentation to the end. These presentations really transformed the first technical session into highly productive one. Many, many thanks to you all for contributing in this conference. Now, I would request Professor M.P. Chawla sir to please conclude the session. Welcome, sir.
So everybody has presented so nicely. I have written in the chat box itself that every contributor had given a different aspect of research, and definitely they might have gained from each other also. Actually, if somebody ask me कि किसी के पेपर में क्या कमी थी, तो मैं यही कहूंगा कोई कमी नहीं, यही कमी थी. Is it clear? So everybody has presented so nicely, and I congratulate to the organizers also for selecting such nice papers. There might be a lot of papers which might have come, but we have to be
Yes, sir.
quality conscious. And I had been IEEE MP chairman, past chairman of MP and Chhattisgarh from 2016 to 2018, and right now I am immediate past chairman. And lot of conferences we are holding. And even in GSITS in April from 24 to 26, we are holding an international conference, CSNT 22. Okay. So you can submit your papers there, and we would be glad to include your papers. Obviously, the manner in which you have presented here, we would expect a more refined format of the paper further. I thank to the organizers and wish you all the best for your future. And that is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your golden views and sparing your valuable time with us. Now, it is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this prominent occasion. A sincere thanks to Almighty for leading us here. At the outset, on behalf of entire team of Sant Hidaram Girls College, I wish to place on record my sincere gratitude to Honorable Professor M.P.S. Chawla sir to take out time from his busy schedule for contributing his gracious present on this event. Thank you, sir. Our special
ma'am.
thanks and heartfelt gratitude to Reverend Sid Pauji, President Shahid Hemukalani Educational Society, and our guide and motivator for all his enormous cooperation rendered to us. Our heartfelt thanks to Honorable Sri Hiro Gyanjan ji, Vice President Shahid Hemukalani Educational Society and Managing Director Sant Hidaram Girls College, and Honorable Sri A.C. Sadhwani ji, Secretary Shahid Hemukalani Educational Society, for all their unstained support rendered to us around the clock. We are highly indebted to respected Dr. Dalima Parvani, Principal Sant Hidaram Girls College, for all her valuable inputs. No doubt, Madam really plays a proactive role in facilitating and creating an enabling environment for all of us. We are highly indebted to our most valued invited paper presenters. My hearty thanks to the entire organizing team of Research Foundation of India, GHERF, and Sant Hidaram Girls College for the perfect organization and for all the underlying efforts in making this session a successful venture. I would like to acknowledge the dedications of all the staff members of Sant Hidaram Girls College, without whose help and support this would not have been possible. I thank all the technical committee members for their uninterrupted technical support. My heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all the supporting staff members for their wholehearted support rendered to us. We are indeed grateful to all the participants who participated from every nook and corner of India and abroad. Last but not the least, I would like to express deep gratitude to everyone for all that you have done specially for this conference. I would like to end my vote of thanks with a huge applause for everyone present here. Thank you so much for being a part of this conference. Thank you all. I would request all the dignitaries and participants to kindly join the second technical session with the same link tomorrow at 11 a.m. followed by valedictory session. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye, goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all participants.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice time. Thank you, ma'am.